Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to part 2 of our WordPress business series, where we're just going to be building a local business website for flowers in Chicago for the example site we built in our starter course. And this, I don't know particularly why I picked Chicago. I kind of just picked it out of a hat and decided to build here because I knew there'd be lots of example sites. And that's the main thing I wanted to start with today, was just getting right into it here. Is the first thing I did is went straight to trusty old Google and typed in flowers Chicago. What I'm really looking for, to be honest, is paid local companies, not national companies. We can copy national companies, but they're more general purpose, right? Because they have to appeal to a much more broad range. Whereas the Chicago, if we're building the site local to Chicago, we want the website to actually be Chicago-based, and we want it to have a local feel. We don't want it to feel like a national, FTD Flowers or 1-800 Flowers. And so what we can do is kind of scroll down past all the paid results and get an idea, if we don't see any paid results that are Chicago specific, right? We can scroll down and look for Chicago flower websites to kind of get an idea of any inspiration for the designs of these sites, because in our Themify we can really build anything we want. We can do it manually too, but Themify is going to help us a lot. Like this could easily be built in Themify, no problem at all. This is a very easy build on Themify. But I'm not really a huge fan of this one. It's okay. I really don't like the menu too much. They don't really, you kind of see that little tiny shadow they tried to put on everything to give it a little bit, but like look how little this is, and look how these at least needed some kind of stroke, right, or to be a little bit bigger. And let's see, they're kind of just using, it's not terrible. Their color scheme is more of a dark design with white text and image dependent on other than that. And this one we could take an example from, and then let's say that we wanted to check out more down the list. We could just open as many of these as we want, really, looking for WordPress sites if you want. Here's one that has this is a pretty basic one. Looks like some kind of HTML template somebody would buy. And in fact, I think I know this because when I did this before, I pulled up another one down the list, and there was one that was built on the same exact template. Yeah, here it is. Look at these side by side. So this is some kind of template or something, or this is the same person that owns both sites, or they hired the same, or it was like a custom site built for them by a company. Like there's a lot of these national companies that you can be a part of their network, and then they'll like build a site for you and all that. And it's usually something that looks like this. Anyway, we're just trying to get an idea of some color schemes and some stuff for inspiration, because actually what we're going to do is we're going to lay out a really simple mind map. And if you've never seen a mind map before, and this is like such a simple example, I'm trying to keep this as basic as possible. A mind map is really for just you. If I was dealing with a scope with a customer, because like I said before, you're hired, right? We're building the site together, like we're partners on the web build. And if you have much more experience than this, or you do it your own way, that's fine. I'm just trying to showing you the way that I do it, and so that's why we're going along this path. But mind mapping is a way to kind of string out your ideas and notes to yourself, and remember things as you saw them, and also lay out to remember in your own way, kind of like a process for your ideas and how you wanted to put things together. So like in this case, I created a Sites We Like bubble, and this program is called FreeMind, by the way. It is free. You can go download it and get started with it. And you have a main thought bubble you can edit by double clicking, well, when it first starts. Otherwise you have to edit node, and then you can edit this text, and I just called it SEO local, but really we should call it something a little more defining, right? Like flower shop site. And then these are thought bubbles, and the way that we can insert those is by just clicking on the main bubble and then hitting insert as many times as we like, and it will just keep inserting new bubbles. And so the first bubble we started with here was sites we liked, and I just created a couple of more thoughts, and you just keep creating thoughts by clicking the main one and hitting insert, and then you can hit enter to just keep adding more and more and more thought bubbles. And we're going to keep this really basic because I just want to give you an overall example, because we don't need to go way in depth on this. But like sites we liked, and then we could put in sites, and then we could just put in notes. Like we like the top layout, color scheme, look again, right? Like these are just notes to myself. Go look at the color scheme again and all that. And then also here's something cool too, is that when we've came back through this, and we're building our site, and we say that we got everything we needed from this florist website here, we don't need to look at it anymore in our notes, we can add a little check mark to it, and now we know that we've done everything we wanted to do from that, and so we don't need to look at these thought bubbles anymore. And we can add unlimited thought bubbles and unlimited paths to this. Like website pages, we could lay out our pages and say, okay, this is going to be a 5-page website, right? And we can actually make a note. There's actually a way you can make a large note bubble to kind of give you an idea of exactly, hold control, then press up to move it to the top. And you can actually make a, let's see, I'm pretty sure you can format it as a large bubble. Yeah. So we could say like notes, 5-page basic business layout. And so that's kind of like a note to ourselves, like, okay, an informational note. This is a 5-page basic business layout. We're gonna have a home page, a flowers page, a soaps page, about us, and a contact page. So this flower shop, say, sells flowers and soaps. Our home page is our home page. Our flowers is a flower page. And in here, we could set up more notes. We wanna set up WooCommerce. We need to accept PayPal. We need 3 separate sections showcased at the top with different flowers. And they have specific colors to match their brand logo or type. Okay, this is just some notes I put in here just to show you an example. And so as we complete these things, we could say, okay, homepage is complete or mostly complete. Flowers, all right, well, did we set up WooCommerce? Let's say we just set that up today. We got it linked into our PayPal, so that note is something that we remembered. 3 separate sections that got showcased, say we did that. And these could also be notes from you sitting with the customer or talking with them on the phone and taking down the notes of what they wanted, and then adding them all into these mind maps to get them off your paper and in front of you on the computer. And then will help you out a lot to organize your information. So say we had a keyword section, and these are the keywords we would be targeting for. They told us they wanted to rank for flowers Chicago. Say if they wanted to be the biggest rose shops, we'd make in their flowers page, we'd try to rank that for like roses Chicago or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And we could just put all of our keyword research in here, and we can make unlimited thought paths about long tails and blog post ideas and all that kind of stuff. So that's just a quick example of using mind map to lay out our thoughts. And we can also have just randomized notes and thoughts too. A lot of times I'll put a MISC folder in here, and I'll just add like 5 or 6 blank lines, and I'll just add things as I go. Like let's say customer mentioned click to call. Right, and then say that they said that they wanted to be able to track it separate, so you could say possibly track separate with a question mark. And we can bring this back up to them later and say, hey, remember when you we were talking on the phone that first time and you said you were thinking about having click to call on your homepage and you wanted it to track to see how many people were clicking it to call into your site. Do you still want to do that? And then you can upcharge, price it, whatever you want to do. But you remembered, right? And you can just keep adding notes here as you keep thinking about it and remembering it. Like, say in their contact form, you remembered, like, oh, that's right, they wanted to know if the person was calling about or wanted to know about soaps or flowers. So you could say contact form information, and you could say needs, say product selector. For soaps or flowers. And this is going to help you stay organized when you're building. This actually helped me stay organized a lot. And you just hit, by the way, space to open your note paths and close them. And this helped me a lot. And so, like I was saying, when I go through all my MISC notes as I'm developing the site and building, like, okay, so here's the methodology I'm going to use to build the website, here's the order I'm going to build it in, and blah, blah, blah. I can come in here and go back through my notes and say, okay, did I talk to them about this? I did. Okay, so let's go ahead and just put a check on that, because I talked to them about it, and we already made a determination on what we're going to do. The contact form information, hey, does our contact form have the selector for the soaps and the flowers? It does? All right, cool. So we did that. And so by the time we're done, this whole thing will be green checked, right? We'll have everything in here green checked because we did it all, and we didn't forget anything. And also this helped us kind of lay out our own thoughts. Like I said, this isn't meant to be presented to the customer. This is just meant to be for yourself. If we're going to present it to the customer, we're really going to use a scope layout like maybe an Excel spreadsheet. We don't need to get too complicated with this. It could be a Word document, Excel spreadsheet, and all that. In the next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about preparing how you deal with the customer, because man, if you've never done professional website building, I actually did it for almost 3.5 years, and as a self-employed, and for myself, actually pitching businesses and all that. And if you don't clearly get with the customer and determine what you guys are going to build and exactly what they're going to get, this thing is going to go south on you really fast. And I'll tell a story about how my first one went way south on me. And it's not like exaggerated for story purposes or for like for you guys to be like, or for me to try to make an impact. It's really how what happened to me, and it's pretty embarrassing, but you guys will get a kick out of it, and it'll make you understand why I kind of do things the way I do now. So that was just this is a really basic video, guys, just on going out there to the city you're in, typing in flowers from that area. And also you can change a VPN if you have one to the location. Might give you even better results. Another method for this, actually, believe it or not, is to go into Google AdWords. If you guys are familiar with AdWords for keyword research, and then go to the ad preview and diagnostics tool and set your location to that area and then type it in, because you get to see local results that way too. It's kind of like a backdoor strategy. But I think I'm just going to end it right there. This is pretty easy, you guys. What you want to do is you want to just go in, type in the keywords that you're really trying to rank that site for, the business site, and then kind of look at what's out there and get an idea. Take a look at their page content. What are they saying? What are their keywords? What are their descriptions? What are their what do their pictures look like? How fast their sites load? You can do as much research as you want. Don't get yourself in paralysis mode by over-researching, because we're going to build something on our own using our own template and do it our way. But at least it's a good way to kind of get more of an idea, rather than you're just starting from a blank page and you're looking at your theme going, oh man, what do I build? This will help you a lot. And even if and the cool thing about Themify is you can even start from scratch and just start editing what they put in for you, and you'll still come out looking pretty good in the end. But this will give you an idea of what people are kind of doing for flower shops, and what's already out there and what's already ranking, and what people are, or what's already working. And I think that's going to go ahead and end us for part 2. In part 3, like I said, I think we're going to talk a little bit about dealing with a customer, and I'm just keeping this as basic as possible, you guys. We're not going to get in extreme depth, but it is enough to help the person who's attempting to actually do this as a real deal. Let's see here. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you guys have any questions or any further comments on this stuff. We're going to try to take this pretty fast, so we're going to move into dealing with customer, picking our color schemes, and actually start building something and try to come up with a kind of a nice little flower website and actually upload it or get it live, and so people can actually visit it, like you guys could visit it and kind of get an example of what we built. Maybe even make it a duplicator package. I don't know. Maybe I'll even turn it into a package and put it for download. We'll see. Maybe that'll be the end of this course. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in part 3.